We are back with another classic versus to see who would win the epic battle of the two darkest characters seen in the Zelda and Mario series. The infamous Dark Link and Shadow Mario. Which one would win this fight? Well, let's find out. Before we continue this video, I want to tell you something important. We're gonna have a meetup at Comic-Con London at the end of October. So if you're there, be sure to follow me on Twitter or Instagram to stay up to date with where we are and when we're gonna meet up. The information for the event is on the screen right now, and this also goes for my social media. So be sure to follow me there to stay up to date. Now let's continue with the video. Now in one corner we have the more sinister version of Mario, who is his doppelganger and serves as the main antagonist of Super Mario Sunshine. He's almost identical to Mario, with the primary difference being that his body is a translucent blue, appearing to have a liquid consistency. He wields the magic paintbrush, an invention designed by Professor Elvin Gadd. And with it, he can magically create large quantities of graffiti, which occasionally spawn lesser enemies. By the looks of it, he can apply it extremely quickly and even from a distance, since this is seen in some of the art, and he usually is some distance away from it. Later in the game, it is revealed that Shadow Mario is actually Bowser Jr. However, for the sake of this video, we will ignore it, because this battle is between Shadow Mario and Dark Link after all. In Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and Wii U, you can even see him use his magic paintbrush to paint a giant orange X of graffiti that covers the entire screen and damages any opponent that comes into contact with it. So clearly his paint does damage to all, and even sort of explodes at the end, with everyone getting knocked back even more. Besides that, he is extremely agile, being able to jump, climb a free run just as the real Mario. Now in the opposite corner we have the other candidate, Dark Link, who is actually quite different, because he's a dark reflection of Link. With no backstory and no dialogue, there isn't a lot known about him, although it is implied on numerous occasions to be merely constructed of shadow magic. Dark Link is more than just a mere battle against a monster for Link, but a battle against himself, as the young hero has to face his own strength turned against him. Due to this, Dark Link is often the ultimate challenge, and is faced as a final boss on one occasion. In the games that he is seen in, there are a couple of common abilities that he shows off, like leaping backwards to dodge. Besides that, we mostly see all of Link's normal abilities like his sword and shield moves. However, in some games he also uses special items and attacks, like the Pegasus boots to dash, and a down thrust similar to the Quake Medallion. So if these two ended up in a fight, who would be the winner? Well, in order to find out, we will look at the following things: their strengths and weaknesses compared to each other, stamina and resources, and possible tactics they could use. We will start with the first point. Here there are two distinctive differences between the two that could have a major impact on who comes out as the winner. First off, when looking at both of them fighting, you will see one big difference. Link mainly stays on the ground and only does some small hops and jumps here and there, while Shadow Mario is mostly found within the sky, jumping from wall to wall. This can give him a huge advantage. This is mostly because of two reasons. Most people don't look up when looking for a target, and that's why an attack from above has always been efficient. Humans just tend to look for things at their own height, so Shadow Mario can have the element of surprise in this situation. Besides that, fighting from a higher position is always better. You can see more, striking down takes less effort because of gravity and costs more for your opponent, and it's easier to land a hit when you can move from one place to another, bombarding from above. Another advantage to this is that the ink goop of Shadow Mario is extremely effective. It will slow down or damage Dark Link constantly, because it will be everywhere on the ground, making it hard to dodge for him. So this already puts Shadow Mario in a great position. And Dark Link doesn't really have anything, even when it comes to a counterattack. He is seen using a bow and arrow in one of the games, however in all the others this is never seen. So when it comes down to it, Shadow Mario wins the first round. His strengths and little to no weaknesses outweigh Dark Link's heavily. Now for our next point, stamina. How long can it keep it out before running out of resources, health, and breath? Here we yet again run into a problem, mainly for Dark Link and not Shadow Mario, because he can run out of resources for stuff like his bow. Another huge disadvantage is the fact that every time Dark Link is hit, he will fall through the floor and spring back up right after, or at least be staggered. This way Shadow Mario can reposition or recover as long as he gets a hit in, although the falling through the floor thing is only seen in Ocarina of Time. But this isn't the case for the staggering. However, he has one advantage. He doesn't seem to get tired at all. But this seems to be the case for Shadow Mario as well, so this looks like a tie. But in the grand scheme of this whole point, Shadow Mario's weapon never runs out of ink, he never gets tired as far as we can see, and takes quite a lot of hits to take down, and doesn't even stagger or react when you hit him. So sadly enough, our Super Mario villain wins again, giving Dark Link little to no chance of winning this. Now for the final section, Tactics. This part is crucial, as it will decide who will win this battle. When comparing the two in battle, there's one thing you can notice with Dark Link that Shadow Mario can exploit. His moveset is quite linear, and he tends to be either very defensive or tries to mimic your movements. All of this won't work with someone like Shadow Mario, because he can do certain things that Dark Link will never be able to do. Besides that, his more defensive and reactive nature will be punished for sure. Shadow Mario can paint the whole place, summon lesser enemies, and more, while Dark Link waits or defends himself directly. So really, it just won't work. Even if he takes on his more aggressive approach right away, the ink and enemies that will add up in time will overpower him or limit his options a ton. The standard strategies of Dark Link won't work, mostly because of the ink that slows him down at every point, damages him, or makes him slide around the whole place. That's his whole problem. All his tactics are for close combat and on the ground, while Shadow Mario tends to go high and low, can summon other enemies, and even has a ranged attack by throwing paint. Even if his paint couldn't be used as a ranged weapon, he can still apply it in a second and jump away really fast after that. So there's no chance that Dark Link could win. He might be the ultimate challenge for Link, but Shadow Mario can probably deal with him quite easily. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Do you want to watch more videos? But of course you do. Click those lovely annotations, click the bell button, click the subscribe button, click more videos, do stuff. Yay, thank you.